gon' watch me if I can't bother like sweat. On your market set, strong but I ain't missing a step. Man, if you ain't feel the vibe, then stay over there by yourself. When Reagan's great return, I can dance, I can sing, I can wave my flag. When Reagan's great return, I can drink all the rum, I can get on my. When Reagan's great returns, I can dance, I can sing, I can wave my flag. When Reagan's great return, I can drink all the rum, I can get on my. Get him, Ricky! Just give me the Reagan's great.
Good afternoon once again, and welcome to Racing from Elizabeth Harbor in downtown Georgetown, Exuma. What a beautiful day we're having here, Carson. It's just incredible. Blue skies, absolutely perfectly clear aquamarine water, white sailboats, beautiful sand beaches, the second highest elevation in the Bahamas overlooking the harbor. We are in an incredible, incredible location, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for the 6th annual Exuma Sailing Club Regatta, and we have some 60 sailors. Youngsters have gathered here for this event. We are hosting 2 other clubs. Exuma Sailing Club is hosting Grand Bahama Sailing Club and the Mark Knowles Sailing Club from Long Island. We have completed the Opti races and the Sunfish races, and so we're just going to give you a quick rundown on those. You will have had those earlier, but we'll just run it down for you again. And then we're going to get into some serious E-Class racing. We're just getting the boats on the line, just about ready to get that started. But first, here we go. We had the Opti Green Fleet. We ran 3 races yesterday, 3 today. At the end of that, we're looking at first place going to Rowan Turnquest, second place to Brody Knowles, and third place to Kai Dowell. And so that's what we're looking at in race 6 today. That pretty much, if we go back to the subs, that pretty much totals up who were the winners. Okay, we're just hearing from Commodore, 1 minute to the first start, so we're looking for E-Class races. We'll bring you up to date on the rest of this. We'll stand by now for the E-Class start. I'll just continue while we have the rest of that minute to play with. In the Sunfish, we ended up with first going to Josh Knowles, second going to Die Major, third going to Tanaj Manos, fourth going to, sorry, I have to do this to you, fourth going to Keanu Hutchinson, and the last going to Aiden Bain. And so those were the 5 top finishes in the Sunfish class. And the E-Class we have yet to determine. So we're just getting set right now, and we should have a gun, or we should have the start in just a moment. Okay, the gun have gone, and now they're pulling. If you can look on your screens, and you will see that the boats, this is a different start now from what we did this morning. We normally would just have them mill around the boat and start in the Opti and Sunfish. This is native sailing. We've got the anchors down, and they've been pulling. They're done the pull, and I can tell you that all the sails are coming up. First up is 2 brothers, but not on the line. Kayla is still pulling. They're going to pull halfway to Stalking Island. 1 Bahamas is away. Lucine Lady is away. Mako's still in the water. For some reason, she's still pulling. Riptide doesn't seem to be able to get her sail up. Everybody else is now underway, with Riptide and Mako finally getting underway, but Kayla is well away. This is going to be an up and down, up to a windward mark and then down to the leeward mark. Today we're using the gate, so we have two markers, you have a choice of going to port or starboard, and that's going to be interesting to see who does what. We added this. This is a new feature that's used in international racing, and we've added that to sloop racing now, and it gives you a better idea, or gives the sailor a better choice. He can go either side of the course, and so we're going to see what happens with that today. As we start the race here, Kayla is on top of everybody. She's out front, just tacked over on a port. We have the windward mark directly upwind. We've got about 12 knots, 12, 13 knots right now. Still have a nice smooth sea, so we should get some fast speeds here. And Kayla's walking away with this again. Lucayan lady coming over here on starboard. She'll come pretty much over to where we are. We're anchored just off Peace and Plenty. The races are going on just in that area, so if you're in the pavilion area or you're on the deck at P&P, you're going to get a good look at some really, really fine racing just in front of you today. So yeah, comes Lucayan lady directly at it. Mako coming also on starboard, just tacking. I'm sorry, that's Riptide just tacking over now. And Two Brothers bringing up the rear. The race seems right now to be between Kayla and One Bahamas. Tanaj is again sitting by himself. They've spread out. We have 4 boats on the left side of the right side of the course, and 2 boats on the left side. Lucayan lady seems coming right to us. She just tacked now over onto port. Two Brothers continuing over. Seems that there's the side of choice is the right side of the course, and that's where Kayla is, that's where One Bahamas is, and that's where Mako is. So those 3 boats have gone to the right side, trying to get to a ley line, back to the mark. And Lucayan lady is striking a pretty good wind. If she's reaching, she can get over on top of them. It would be very interesting to see what happens. They're going to have to sail quite a way to make that mark, and so she's on her way to the mark, but they're not pointing very well. So they need to block it down and point right, try to get across these boats that have gone out to the right. Kayla's about to tack any minute now. She's probably on the ley line. So is One Bahamas, and so is Mako. And that's the way we shape up this afternoon. Kayla just seems to be, Lucayan lady seems to be bouncing a lot. They're really not sailing her. Sails are not full. So she's not going ahead at all. We have 8 boats on the course. We still have a boat back at the start. I think that might be, we have to find out which boat that is. Can't tell from here. She's bow on to us now and no sail up. So Kayla is tacked to the mark. So has One Bahamas, and so has Mako. Lucayan lady is still struggling. Riptide has gone through the middle, and she just got a lift. I think she's going to go across, definitely going to cross Mako. Kayla's already across her. Wave Maker that should have been up at the top is just here with us. Interesting start, Carson. Wind has dropped out a little bit too. We're going to have 2 races. We'll go back to back with this. Right after this, we're not going to have the parent race, unfortunately. We had hoped that we'd have that for you this afternoon, but we're going to run out of time. So we're just going to do this race and one more, and then we're going to have to get to the presentation because some of the teams have to leave and head back home. And so we wanted to make sure that we completed everything early enough. So, interesting. Kayla around the top mark. She just had to make a little tack. She didn't quite fetch the mark, so she's made a little tack over on the port. Just what we call a sham. She make a little sham, and now she's going to go around. I hope she doesn't stall and hit that mark. We have to watch that very carefully, Carson. See whether she touched the mark. She's very, very close to it. Very, very close to it. I think maybe they got clear. Okay, Wavemaker is just tacking here in front of us. She's tacked to the mark, coming at it from port. Second around is going to be one Bahamas. Lucayan Lady still struggling. Riptide did manage to stave off Mako and tack in front of her. So we will see whether Mako can, Emmett can get around Riptide. Doesn't look it right now. Two brothers still struggling. Going over on port tack. So you got 2 laps here, and you have a split at the bottom of the course. So we're going to see what happens now. Kayla's around, and she's well away. Come back, Dallas. We didn't get that. Dallas, come back.
Yeah, I was just telling him to stay at the mark and film. I'm going to keep going down.
Okay, good. So we have Panther. We have Panther struggling here at the back of the fleet. She's not going to make... she's going to get lapped at that pace. Kayla will definitely lap her if she doesn't get going. Seem to have had some trouble getting underway. Big gap between one Bahamas and Kayla. Kayla just running away from the fleet now. And so we have Riptide coming around. I do believe that is Riptide and Mako just coming around the mark. Lucayan Lady also at the mark. And Wavemaker at the mark. So we'll have everybody coming down to the leeward mark now. So we've got 8 boats on the course, folks. This is racing from Elizabeth Harbor in Georgetown, Exuma, the 6th annual Exuma Sailing Club Regatta. Wrapping up the series with E-Class. Got a little competition between Josh Knowles, Tanaj Manos, and Emmett Knowles. And we have Lucayan Lady running in here right now with Lonnie Duncombe, Nasir Brown, Darren Cooper. Those guys are from Grand Bahama. I don't see any of the Long Island guys here. Let's make sure that I'm right about that. No. Seems to be Grand Bahama and Exuma. Thought we'd have some spectator boats out today, Carson, but the harbor is empty. No one on the water today. Maybe they were looking at the weather that's supposed to come through later on today. It hasn't materialized. We have just an incredible, incredible day. Now we have, aside from one Bahamas and Kayla, which have separated themselves, the fleet is packed together. 4 boats downwind. Riptide is there. The Kind Lady is there. Mako is there, and so is Wavemaker. Struggling to get to the windward mark is 2 brothers. Boat from Grand Bahama. Kayla's is the downwind, and it looks to me like she is going to... Well, we did have the gate, and she's going to go to... She's gone to the starboard. She took the starboard tack. So she's coming on up towards us now. Tanaj by himself, way in the front of the boat. He must have the longest helm ever. Just by himself. Lucayan Lady has passed Riptide now. Sailing very, very well. The builder of Lucayan Lady is here. and got a chance to talk with him, and he's very happy. He's carrying the name of a boat that I launched in 1980, and I told him he's got to change the color of that boat. It's green and yellow, and Lucayan Lady, the Lucayan Lady, was a white boat with blue lettering and a really pretty boat. So we're going to try to get him to change those colors or change the name. That might be difficult. So this is the fourth. Oh, this is the second of the E-Class Series races. And around the windward mark goes two brothers. Made the tack. And going off towards Manowar Key at this point right now, which is the south end of the harbor, is Panther. We have to send a message to her to come on back. One Bahamas is around the mark on starboard. She's striking pretty good wind, but Kayla has reached over just in front of Peace and Plenty, and she's made a tack back onto port. So the two of them will come together. Expect Kayla will be across one Bahamas. And the next boat around the leeward mark is going to be Lucayan Lady. I think everybody's going to take the starboard end of the line, or the starboard gate, side of the gate. Sorry?
Mako's out in front, but the other three are going to be tied at the mark.
Well, Mako just sort of snuck around Lucayan Lady, did she? Well, Lucayan Lady has the inward mark. Inward is on the inward side, so let's see what happens. Yep, Lucayan Lady, is it? I think they're both around the inside there. And we see who's going to get away with it. Mako did? Okay. So Mako passed Lucayan Lady on the turn there. And I can hear them from here. So somebody didn't give somebody enough room. And they are still pretty tight, pretty much bunched down there. And I think that we're hearing Tanaj talking to Kayla. That's one Bahamas talking to Kayla, but Kayla's going away from him. Just a perfect afternoon for sailing, folks. A perfect afternoon on the water. And we are very fortunate, Carson, to be out here. Absolutely. Just incredible. We're just in front of P&P. And, of course, the government dock. You can see February Point over here, and all the way up to the north. You can see all the way up to Channel Key. Just a beautiful, beautiful day. Kayla tacking again now. She's taking her time, just relaxing on her way up to the mark. She knows she's got everybody covered. We need somebody to go and contact Panther. She's almost to Roll Town right now. Okay, so we're just gonna watch this duel here between one Bahamas and Kayla. One Bahamas is coming just here to Clubhouse, and she's gonna tack away from us. I don't think she can get on top of us. She's tacking away now. Kayla's already across. And you can see, if you're looking at your screen, that Tanaj is by himself. He's sitting way up at the front of the boat, sailing by himself. Everybody else is to the lee. We've had some sort of a wind shift out here because Riptide is coming straight up the middle of the course. almost pointing directly at the mark. And she is on starboard tack, which is kind of interesting. And there she goes. Now over to port.
Were you able to see on that video, did the timing?
Get that first thing. We need to say it again, but Kayla is so far in front of their fleet. It's almost, it's impossible. One Bahamas is the only boat that is trying to stay in touch with her, and she is at least 2 minutes behind. So we have some difficulties. So we're looking at something. We'll take a break and be right back. Okay, we're back racing on Elizabeth Harbor, and at the windward mark now. We are looking at one Bahamas making her way to the windward mark. Kayla is halfway down the downward leg to the wood mark, and she's going to go ahead and take this race handily. The rest of the boats are going to be, looks like Wave Maker might be headed for third, and Mako perhaps fourth. The other two would be Riptide, who's dropped way back now, and we cannot quite see who the other boat is. That's Mako there. And Looking Lady. So the way it stacks up now, it's one Bahamas around the mark, followed by Wave Maker around the windward mark. So that'll be second and third place boats. And we have Mako now tacking to the mark, followed by Looking Lady. Riptide going across on port. She will have to give way to those two boats. We'll see what happens there. Mako across Riptide. Looking Lady across Riptide. So we're all clear there. We did have some contact at the leeward mark. We're trying to sort that out now. We'll come back and give you a determination on that in a little bit. But there was a question of buoy room at the leeward mark. And so we will definitely come back and check that out with you. Coming up on the finish right now is going to be Kayla just got the gun for the first place in the second series race. Kayla's across the line, and she just about lapped. Who was that? Just about lapped one of the boats. Two brothers. Just about lapped it. So on the downwind leg now, we have Mako's going to be second. Wave Maker is going to be third. Looking Lady, is it? Going to be fourth. Mako fifth. And Riptide will bring up the rear. There was some contact between Wave Maker and the Looking Lady. And so we're going to see who gets the call on that. We've referred that to Commodore, and he will make that decision. We have it on camera, so we can go back and take a look at it, which is one of the good things about having the recording is we can rewind and go see exactly what happened. So when we make a call, it's pretty much we make a first call, and then we make an official call. And so the official call right now we're waiting for from Commodore. We had the Cup race on Friday. Again, won by Kayla. And the first series race. Won by Kayla. And the second series race won by Kayla. Quite a popular gal. So one Bahamas is through the line now. Second place. And as we said, it's going to be followed by Wave Maker. Kind of a distant fourth is going to be the kind lady, and right behind her is going to be Mako, and finally Riptide. In all likelihood, I think Brothers will be recalled off that first leg because they're making their second lap, and they will restart and go for the second race right away. So we're going to take a little break here, folks. We'll come right back and get you going with the next race, which will be the final race for this afternoon. And then we're going to go ahead and wrap up the entire thing for you, package it, and head off to our presentation. And so, ladies and gentlemen, get ready now for the final race of the regatta. It's going to be the third series race for E-Class. We just completed race number 2, won by Kayla, followed by one Bahamas. And so we are lining up right now, and we should be on the line momentarily and ready to go. This did not seem to be an incident at the lower mark. There was space. We're a little confused about that, but I don't think, unless there's a protest, I don't think there will be. We're not going to make a call on that. The finishes will remain as far as we are concerned. There did seem to be buoy room, so we don't understand that there should be a protest. 8 boats, lots of ocean. One of the rules, the overriding rule in sailing and racing is keep clear. And so when you have a gate like we're introducing now, there is no need for 2 boats to come together at the leeward mark because you can make that choice to go port or starboard. And but again, that is one of those turns requires that you drive the boat, which means that the wind goes across the stern of the boat rather than across the bow. So the faint-hearted will definitely take the easier route, and the easier route today is to take the starboard tack rather than the port. Although the port could give you some advantage, especially where the mark is, the windward mark is today, but no one took that. No one took that. Everybody took the starboard tack. And so the dog is chasing the tail, and once the boat is in front of you, there's no chance that you're going to catch them. Not in these short races in any case. So we're here again at the harbor waiting for the start of the final race today. Final E-Class race today. And we're just about there, waiting for Commodore to give us a call. We have one boat still tailing. One, for some reason, still sailing around. I have no idea why that would be. It looks like Mako. Just trying to get to the line. We'll take a pause here, and we'll pick up once we get all the boats on the line. Still sailing and racing here on Elizabeth Harbor in the 6th annual Exuma Sailing Club Regatta. Reg Smith with you. The boats racing today: Lady Kayla, Josh Knowles, and Keanu Hutchinson. One Bahamas, Tanash Manos. Common is not with him today. He's by himself. Wavemaker, no Sean McKenzie, and Willen Brennan. Lady L is not here. She's scratched. Mako is Emmett Knowles and Orlando Ferguson. Miss Agnes not here, withdrew. Therese McKenzie and Trevor Brown did not sail today. Riptide is out here with Di Major and Sunny. Lucine Lady with Lonnie Duncan and either Nasir Brown or Darren Cooper. And of course, two brothers with Aiden Bain, Craig Kerry, Chase Thompson, Panther with Tyler Storr. And so we got 8 boats on the field today. And we are off and running in the final race of the day. Sails are up. And if you're looking at your screen right now, you should be able to see that they're just off the line. And we can tell you that Mako, or rather Riptide, is off the line well. So is Mako. And we're looking for Kayla. And Kayla, of course, is well off the line in front of everybody, as usual. Good start. Wind has shifted a little bit, so this is probably going to be a shorter race. It's moved over to the east a little bit, and so the boats are going to be able to come pretty much up the middle of the course and make one tack to this mark. Everybody is now on starboard. All the boats are on starboard tack, and they're going to probably stay that way all the way to the top of the course in this first lap. Kayla, of course, is pointing directly at the mark. Started on the right side of the line, and so she is doing quite well. Mako is reaching with her, but Mako will have to tack to the mark. So will Lucine Lady. So will Riptide. So will One Bahamas. One Bahamas pretty much trailing Kayla. And Kayla just tacked over, so we got a little quick shift there. Kayla tacked over onto port. Mako stayed on starboard and reaching quite well. Wavemaker just trailing Mako. Riptide, Wavemaker, One Bahamas in the middle of the course. Two brothers bringing up the left side of the course. Mako will have a problem when she tacks because she will have all of the other boats on starboard, so she's going to have to either tack soon or Kayla will get to the ley line and she will dominate this race.
It looks like Long Island may be pulling out.
Okay. Kayla's still on port tack. Brothers bringing up the rear on port as well. Mako just tacked over, and she's going to be crossed by Riptide. And now she has either to pull from Lucine Lady and One Bahamas because they are both going to cross her as well. So she dips behind Lucine Lady and One Bahamas, but still on her way to the mark. And she has a pretty good heading. But this is, she's going to have to make another tack back to the mark. And the better thing for her right now is to stay on this side of the course because Kayla has gone all the way uh, down towards Ducks Bay, which is east end of Stocking Island. Just made her tack back on starboard, and now you can bet that she is on the ley line. Riptide on a ley line, perhaps to the mark, coming in from port side, so she will not have right away. Wave maker way below the mark, way below the ley line, so she won't make it for sure. One Bahamas has gone all the way to the ley line, and so now it's a foot race between One Bahamas and Kayla to get there. The wind continues to move a little to the east, however, and that's going to make it hard for the boats coming in from port side, because the more that wind shifts to the right, the farther away from the mark the boats coming in on port will be able to point. So, and of course it's going to favor Kayla coming in on starboard, so the wind that knocks the port tack will favor the starboard tack. So this one again is pretty much concluded that Kayla will get to that mark before One Bahamas and Riptide, we think. If the wind backs a little to the north again, because it's been shifting all afternoon, then both One Bahamas and Riptide may just get to the mark before Kayla, but it doesn't seem that way. You can see Overdraft sitting there just in front of the mark, just waiting to watch the turns. It's important that we watch the turns because when we get two boats there and they're in close proximity, we could have contact, and so we want to be on spot so that you can see that. So here we come. Kayla coming to the mark. One Bahamas is coming to the mark from port. Closing rather quickly is Kayla. When she turns, she may have to go outside One Bahamas. So let's see how that happens. Kayla's around the mark, and she's around the outside of One Bahamas. One Bahamas on top of Riptide. One Bahamas will be the second boat around the mark. Unless, of course, Lookine Lady gets her. Lookine Lady coming in from the starboard tack. Or is that Mako? That is Mako. Mako coming in behind One Bahamas and charging really, really fast. One Bahamas is around. Mako is around. Lookine Lady is way back. Riptide tacked to the mark now in front of Lookine Lady. So she will be the next boat around. Kayla on her way to the downward mark. We will see whether she will jibe and take the port gate. Bringing up the rear right now is Wavemaker. No Sean. Actually, she's just in front of Two Brothers. Two Brothers will be the last boat. So we've had quite a couple days of racing. We finished the Green Fleet in Optis this afternoon. We also finished the Championship Fleet in Optis. We completed 6 races in every instance in all of the fleets. The Championship Optis, we finished 6 races. In the Sunfish, we also finished 6 races. And the reason we try to get to 6 is because we did 6 races. The sailors get to throw out their worst score, and so some of them will do that, and some will not have to. In the E series, it looks again like Kayla will be the boat. She's again way in front, trailed by One Bahamas and Mako. Sunday afternoon sailing in Elizabeth Harbor is probably the best place in the world to be today. If you're sitting out here, folks, on a boat, there is not a care in the world. beautiful skies, incredible water, the mixture of white sails and blue skies and aquamarine seas, calm winds. It's just incredible. Sun is just canted over. We can look out toward Lily Key. Tide has come up now, so we don't have the white breakers in the cuts. And the white beaches of Stocking Island are just standing out at you, looking across the Chat and Chills, all the yachts anchored up against Stocking Island. One would think it's a perfect world. So we head down to the leeward marker. Kayla sort of just going along on her own here. We have the gate again, and I think she's headed for the starboard gate again. That will bring her back toward us. And we'll see. I don't see any reason why Joss would want to jibe the boat today. While we're at it, we want to suggest to you that there is a new app available to you on sailing in general, but sloop sailing in particular. It's the National Family Island app. It's available on Apple right now. It will be available on April 11th. It'll be available on Google. And so we're suggesting that you go ahead and get that and beef up on the boats, because you get everything on there. You get the boats, the captain. So let's say we just got the gun for Kayla. And so that is going to be it, I believe, for racing. And so, yeah, so go ahead and get that app, because it gives you everything on all the boats, the captains, crews. It tells you about the dimensions of the boats. It's very, very well done. And thanks to Carson Gray and company, they did just a fantastic job on it. It's a work in progress too. We're going to add more and more and more and more. But if you take that ad and you take that app and you pay some attention to it, when the regatta comes around, you can enjoy regatta a whole lot more, because you will understand a lot of the jargon that we utilize out here in trying to describe the race and the race course to you. So one Bahamas is second, Mako is third. Emmett did not get his revenge, and so the boats will all go off now towards Regatta Point. The E-class boats will go off, and we'll secure those and head over to the cove, I believe, for the presentation. We'll take a quick break and come back and wrap up with you all of the events of the last 2 days. We'll be right back. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to bring us to the conclusion of this year's 6th annual Exuma Sailing Club Regatta. We are quite pleased with the event this year. We are certainly want to give our thanks to the Grand Bahama Sailing Club and to the Mark Knoll Sailing Club in Long Island for coming over and accepting the invitation. This is an invitational. We hope to extend that invitation to other clubs next year. This year we had just about 60 sailors in 3 different classes or 4 different classes. We had in the Optis, we had 2 classes, the Opti National, the Opti Green Fleet. We then had the Championship Sunfish, and of course we had the E-Class, which we just wrapped up. Sailing is now the national sport, and so we are going to be trying to expand what we do here at Exuma Sailing Club. We base at the Cove. Anytime that you're passing there and you see the kids, if you want to stop in and see what we're all about, please do so. But you can also reach out to myself, Reg Smith, or Dallas Knowles, or Carson Gray, any of us that you run into. We'll be happy to fill you in on how you can become a part of the Exuma Sailing Club. You don't have to sail, you can support. That's as we need a lot of help. And so immediately after the regatta, we're going to be holding some classes for coaches, people who want to come and coach sailing and assist with teaching the young kids and putting on these regattas. We're going to be expanding our complement of coaches, and we're looking for some good sailors. And you don't have to be a sailor necessarily. We can teach you what you need to know. Getting involved with these kids is really an honor and a treat. To watch them come in at 5 years old, 8 years old, and then to see them mature and get into sailing and get into these boats and handle themselves as adults. It's really it's a challenge, but it's also such a pleasure to watch this happen, to see them grow into themselves. And so if you are of that ilk and you want to be a part of us, feel free to contact one of us. Come see us at the Cove. And we're looking at Regatta Point right now. As Carson telling me, he's following the boats in as they're going to go in around Regatta Point. These are the E-Class boats. We don't keep them at the Cove. They all go to Regatta Point. And so we will pull them out of the water once they're there, de-rig them, and then we will pull these back into the Lake Victoria onto their trailers and back to storage. We try and keep them out of the water as much as we can, and we put them in before we race. One of the things that you have to do with these boats when they've been sitting on the land for a while is they need to heal up, because as the planks dry out, they open up. So when you put them in the water, they do leak. Mako, for example, was unable to sail the first cup race because she just couldn't stay afloat. But she spent the night on the bottom. And the next morning, we took her up, bailed her out, and she was ready to sail. So that's just classic of the wooden hulls. That happens, and it's something that we're accustomed to doing. All these kinds of things you'll learn and be able to work with. Fixing the boats, rigging the boats, knowing the sails. It's just a wonderful, wonderful way to work with young kids and to work with grown-ups. We also expect to do a little bit more with the adult membership in the club, so that we grow the club into a full-blown yacht and sailing club. So we want to thank you for joining us. We're going to go off now to our presentation for the young kids. Some of the teams are leaving this afternoon, and once we complete that, we have the permanent secretary to the Ministry of Works and Family Island Affairs going to be our guest at the presentation today, and they are going to be our guest at the presentation. So we're going to sign off right now and thank you once again. We will see you here on Elizabeth Harbor in just a couple of weeks for the National Family Island Regatta. Pick up that app, go look at it, and let us know what you think. Take care, God bless you, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
show me what you got. You say you want to taste. I ain't no play girl. I ain't got time to say less, do more. 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 Say less, do more.
Yeah, bust it, bass sampler, bust it.
But show me what you got. You say you want to taste. I ain't no play girl. I ain't got time to waste. You say you want it all, but that's what your mouth say. I ain't gonna be no side piece. I ain't all day away. Oh, you're trying to get a chance. You're trying to get a chance. Telling me you won't be my man. You're trying to get a chance.